Hi guys, today I am going to do a video on how to replace the front rubber bellow on this Maytag 2000 or model number YMHWE251YL00. Hey, before we continue on, make sure your machine is unplugged or the circuit breaker is off. You'll need a 1/4 hex bolt to take the bottom panel off, and you'll need a Phillips 1 screwdriver. In other videos I've seen similar, they've taken off the bottom panel and everything up front, and I started thinking, well, I don't think you need to. See, on the outside of the bellow, and the bellow, when it's out, looks like this. It's just a rubber thing that sits on the thing, and it's usually on the outside. It's tightened by the spring. Right, this is spring lock or spring, and all you need to do is take a little. I would take a little screwdriver and just I would just take it underneath and just slowly pull, and then just work your way around. Now on the inside it has another spring, but it's locked on by a screw, and this is the screw that's on there, which is weird because it's really sharp, and you have to be careful because you can puncture your hand, you can puncture your new bellow. You just have to be careful. Now what I did was I took the screw off and then just didn't use any tools, just worked my fingers around starting from the top here and worked it around, and I would pull it all the way around. Now that lock screw would usually be in this location, say about 11 o'clock position, and it's easy. All you do is pull this down, right? You pull it down a little bit with your hands. You pull it down a little bit, and then you take a screwdriver, and I just used this little dinky little Phillips screwdriver, and just unloosened it and pulled it off, and it's super easy. Now the next part, I am going to put the bellow in, so I'll probably do a time-lapse thing on it, because I mean, it's kind of boring watching me put the thing in, and it could be a little harder than what it looks like. So you got two on this bellow. You got this little arrow that says up. You want to make sure that's up. Now on the bottom, you want to make sure you have your exhaust holes on the bottom there. Now what I would do is I would just put the whole entire thing inside, right? And then have the top kind of just to stay in place here. Because what you're going to do is you're going to work on the very bottom first. So you're going to line the, line the holes. Maybe I'll just align the holes. So you're going to line the holes with the exhaust port here, right? And then you slowly work in the back. It's like you just have to squeeze it in. All right, you want to make sure one side is on this side of this plastic ring, and the other side is locked onto the other side. So yeah, you just want to, I just shove this in here like this, and then work my way around. All right, clockwise, counterclockwise. It's your no preference. The most important thing is you want to make sure your port is completely open, so that you're not going to have any problems with water draining. So now you're just going to work your way all the way around this ring here. You want to make sure it stays in place, right? It's very important that it stays in place. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Yeah, once you install the baffle, what I would do is I would fold it inwards, right? Because all it is you want to be able to put that locking ring in. So I just, like, everything's just is in, and I just fold it in, and then you'll put the locking ring around this. And so now that I have this here, I'm gonna put this in here. Take the locking ring. There's the locking ring here. Take the locking ring, and then I'm gonna work it away all the way around. It's really tricky putting this thing in. Word of advice is that you shove the back in first, right? And then on the other side, on this side, the front side, so like for instance, like you put it on the top here. Oh, sorry, I guess you can't see, it's hard. So on the side, say like if I was to put this in, you also have to put, there's a little lip on the outer part of the ring, and you gotta slide the silicone over that the ring. Otherwise it won't stay into place, and it'll fall off as you put the locking ring on. So start putting the locking ring on and get back to you. All right, so I have the ring in, and you have to remember the position of the ring is it's going to be along this lip here. Sorry, it's a little unfocused because I'm very close, but as you can see that it's in. This is the position of it tightened. Now, there's a valley. If you put your finger in the back here, you'll feel a valley. There's the lip which you put the silicone over from the outside, and then after that lip is a valley. You want to make sure that locking ring is in that valley. Otherwise, everything will slip right off. You want to tighten it, but not to the point where you feel like you're gonna cut into the rubber. Now, a word of advice is that I had the screw partially in, so it was tight, and I literally pushed it over the lip. Now, I have a third-party baffle, sorry, because everything's on back order, probably because of the Suez Canal. So this is not as high quality as the OEM version. So my word of advice, if you had another third-party manufacturer, is to actually take the screw off, put the ring around, and then slowly tighten the screw. It probably be a little bit easier, and you wouldn't have to worry about damaging your baffle. So the next part you're going to be doing is you're going to move the front part of the baffle over the lip of the washing machine. So I'm just going to go around, put the lip over. You also want to make sure that you see these two little knobs, this is right on the very bottom too. So it's in line with your exit port. So now that it's in and everything's fitted in all around the lip here where it's not moving, you want to take your spring lock and you want to stretch it out a little bit and put your knee on the bottom here, right? Once it's in, and then you're going to work your way around, and then you're going to stretch it as it needs. Okay. I'm not gonna lie, that was really tough. The ring, if it slips, it pulls on pulls your baffle out, and it's really annoying. So as you can see, it's fitted in there. On a little bit, I used a little bit of some lube right on the outside of the spring lock, just on the spring lock. I didn't put it anywhere else. And so as I had I put my knee here and I pushed really hard. You have to keep it really hard, but you want to leave access to this part of the spring a little bit. So I worked away this way, and then at the very end part, you literally have to, it kind of hurts you, but you have to stick your thumb and just squeeze it on in. And it took a very long time and to figure it out, but hope it works. Now that I have this on, I'm gonna test run it. I think I'm gonna leave the panel on the bottom off just to see if there's any leaks. Test it out, and yeah, we'll see. So let's test it out. Let's turn it back on. I plugged it back in. Let's just do a rinse cycle. Actually, let's take off the second rinse. I guess we can't. We'll just do sounding nicely. Water's running. It's spinning. There is no noise. There's water in there, as you can see. Is there any? Let's see if there's any. I don't see any leakage. Still dry. Oh well, I guess I should have vacuumed this a little bit better. Nothing's leaking outside the door here. Let's take a look. Everything seems okay. Let's take a look at the side edge of the door. And it is dry. Let's see. Well, I'm gonna let this run for its course, and hopefully everything's all good. And yeah, I'll be back in like 20 minutes. And there we have it. It is done. It's unlocked. Let's take a look. Okay, it's nice and now the problem I have with these third-party parts is that, you know, you can see it's kind of wrinkled, and I'm not a big fan of that. It's a lighter material, but like I said, when I called Reliable Parts here in Vancouver, they said they had 3,000 on back order, and Maytag wouldn't give them a date or time frame of when they're gonna come. So, you know, I'm assuming it's all because of the Suez Canal stuff. The seals are good. Nothing leaks. There's no leakage. There's no wet stain marks down here. There's no water here. There's nothing underneath, so it's not leaking behind. So I think I'm gonna put the bottom panel back on, and yeah, I think there we have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I only put this because I'm confined. See, I can't take apart my washing machine. So, you know, this is hopefully will help somebody in my situation. All right, thanks guys.